In this video, I'm going to show you how to download and install and run a TeamSpeak server, specifically geared towards esports teams, specifically at the high school and middle school level, where an outside connection isn't allowed by your IT team. For your IT team, it's really handy if these computers are on a VLAN. That's how our school had everything set up, and that's kind of what they recommended in general, just to help kind of keep everything in the same world and be able to kind of manage them a little better. So this is the TeamSpeak website, so teamspeak.com. I'm going to go over here to downloads. You have options. There's a TeamSpeak 5 client. We'll see that here in a second. This TeamSpeak 3 client, TS3 client. We'll again see that here in a minute. If you're not allowing any outside connections, you're going to want the TeamSpeak 3 client for your users. What's nice about TeamSpeak over Discord is TeamSpeak can install across the machine versus Discord, which can only install per user. So, but we'll talk about that. We'll show those here in a second. We're going to go to server. And you're going to choose what device you're going to be running it off of. I'm just going to run it off this computer here. This is how I do it in class or in practice. Then I just restart my computer when I'm done, and we're done. So I'm going to go here. I'm going to click on download, and it's going to start downloading it. And I can go and look at this. What I'm going to do is I'm then going to extract it. And I'm going to put it where I actually want it to live. So I'm not going to leave it in downloads. I'm going to put it in my D drive. It's kind of my separate hard drive that I have, or the SSD drive that I have. And I'm going to just save it in there. And then I'll extract it. And it's going to go through all this. And if I hit refresh, there it is, TeamSpeak 3 server. So double click on this. And now I double click on this TeamSpeak 3 server.exe. And this is a whole bunch of stuff that you totally read and you totally make sure that you're fine with. And I click accept. You'll see that everything's kind of there. Now this is important stuff. What we're going to need is we're going to want to make a notepad. And we're going to copy and paste these over. So this is my login, and this is for the server query admin. We won't really talk about that in this one. Password, but it is good to have these. Maybe put this in a password manager of some sort. API dash key. Control V. And then this one's important. And so this one is the server admin privilege key. Privilege key. And then you're going to copy that. And it's because this is a one-time use, and it actually even says you can check doc/privilege key/guide.txt in order to use that and kind of see. So if I go in doc privilege key guide, it kind of talks about it and what all exists. I'll install this once we're done. So, yeah. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on close, and that's done. If I can close that. And so I'm going to go in here, and I'm going to, actually, no, I'm not. A lot of times what I also like to do is, back here, I'll take this TeamSpeak 3 server and I'll make a shortcut, and you'll see that right here. And what that allows me is at the end of the at the start of the school day, or not school day, start of practice, I'll double click that and it just turns on your server's on. And then at the end of practice, I just restart my machine because I'm leaving, and the server dies. And that's the reason that I absolutely love using TeamSpeak over all the other options. So if I go in, I have both TeamSpeak and TeamSpeak 5, TeamSpeak 3 and TeamSpeak 5 going. I'm going to use TeamSpeak 5 just because I like it a little more. If your IT department is not allowing anything through, then you're going to want to use TeamSpeak 3. You don't have to have an account. You don't have to connect outside your network. You don't have to do anything like that. It can all happen inside of the system. So right here, I'll actually delete this just to show you how I get this. So in my task manager, so Control Shift Escape, I'm going to go to Performance, and I'm going to go to Ethernet. And I'm going to find my IPv4 address. So in this case, it's 10.12.40.34. I'm going to hit Enter, and it's going to put me in this. And it's going to ask, is this your TeamSpeak server? Yes. I'm going to use my privilege key. That's my privilege key. That's the one that we got in this document. We saw this privilege key 40 blah 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 blah, really long unique thing, and I click apply. So I should now be kind of this server admin, and so I should be able to do things like rename it, and I think here we go. It's right in here. Rename us. So just because I'm Standpoint, so Standpoint Esports. And if you were connecting this to the outside, which this isn't talking about, you'd be able to put a password here. And we'd be able to click save. We can then create channels, and you can put passwords to them and all this type of stuff. So maybe I do high school Valorant, and I put it at the bottom. I now have a high school Valorant channel that I can jump into. Beyond that, TeamSpeak 3, I guess I could show you what that looks like. Just because I've opened it before, it knows me a little bit. However, you just do the same thing, connect, you put in your information and your nickname, and you're able to connect. So hopefully this has been helpful.